Hi bakers, welcome back to my channel. It's Sandy here from the Sour Strawberry, and today I am going to walk you through my easy overnight sourdough bagel recipe. So let's jump in. I'm starting with the dough that I made last night, and you obviously can get the recipe over on the blog. And I'm scooping it out onto a lightly floured surface. This dough is really thick, quite heavy, so it's pretty easy to work with, but you do want to flour up because it is kind of sticky. And so what we want to do next is flour our hands, obviously, and then what we're going to do is we're going to shape it into a log. And you want to try and get it as even as possible so that all of your bagels are the same size. So you see I'm just kind of squeezing it with my hands, working it out, making it a little bit longer, and then pushing the end in so that I don't have a little skinny end. Okay, and when I get it to where I'm kind of happy with it and it looks pretty even, if it's sticking, add a little bit more flour underneath there. I am going to take my bench scraper and I'm going to cut this in half. Okay, and then each side into quarters. And then you're going to turn them the other way, and you're going to cut each one of them in half. So this recipe makes 8 large bagels. And whenever Ian and I are making these, we always do a double batch because, hey, you can put them in the freezer and they freeze really well, or you can share them with your favorite neighbors. So next what we're going to do is we're going to roll these up into a ball, and then we're going to place them onto a baking sheet. And I've got some parchment paper over top of that. And once they're all on there, we're going to cover them with a clean kitchen towel, and we're going to let them rise, I don't know, half an hour. Okay, and I only put 6 on each sheet, giving them room to expand a little bit. So I've got a couple of sheets in the background here, so I'm just showing you I've got this set of 6 set up, and here we are, we're covering them, and we're going to give them a little rest. Okay, they've had their little rest. Now we're going to make the holes in the center. So you want to grab it, and then with your thumb and your middle finger, you want to rip or tear a hole in the center, and then use your thumbs and your fingers to expand the hole and kind of even it out and move on to the next one. So again, squeeze into the center, tear the center open, and then use your thumb and fingers on each hand to stretch it out and try and get the dough as even as possible for your bagel. And you're going to do that for all of them, and then you're going to cover them again and let them sit for another 20 minutes. And then while we're doing this, we need to bring a large pot of water to a boil, and you also want to get your toppings ready. Okay, the 20 minutes is up. Now we're going to boil our bagels. So I have a very large pot of boiling water, and I'm going to just squeeze in about 2 tablespoons of honey, and then I'm going to whisk this just to blend it really well with the water, and then we're going to start to boil our bagels. So the honey adds a little bit of color and flavor to your crust, and so don't miss that step. It really does help. Okay, so I like to bake 3 bagels at a time, or boil 3 bagels at a time. I pop them in upside down so that I only have to turn them once. And they don't normally stick together. And you want a slotted spoon or a spoon with holes in it. You're going to have to turn these after 20 seconds and then let them boil for another 20 seconds. And then you're going to place them back on your baking sheet. Okay, so I'm just waiting for my 20 seconds to be up. I'm kind of leaving this one at real time just so you get the hang of it. And you see they're kind of floating around. They're starting to get really lumpy and weird looking. That's quite normal. Don't freak out. Okay, they get a really funny skin when they do the boiling, but it does smooth out when we get to the baking stage. Okay, so I've turned them over and I have started my timer again. Another 20 seconds is gone, and now I'm just going to scoop them out. Because I put them in upside down, they're now right side up, so it's easy just to pop them out and then add the other 3. And I do these 6 at a time because the next step, you're going to bake them for 24 minutes. And so what I do is I just turn the water off and put the lid on. And then that way, when I'm ready to start my next set, I don't have to wait very long for my water to boil. Okay, so my 20 seconds are up. I just flip them over. And now we're going to boil this side for 20 seconds again, and then we're going to use our slotted spoon and we're going to dig them out of the boiling water, put them back onto the cookie sheet, and our first 6 are done. We are ready to do the toppings. So obviously you want to prep your toppings ahead of time. I have shredded Asiago and cheddar cheese and everything bagel on these plates. We like lots of cheese on our bagels, as you can tell, and I am loading 4 of these up with the cheese. I put the cheddar on first and then a little bit of the Asiago on top, and then I'll show you how to dip the other 2. Okay. And the best part about baking these is some of this will run down and get all crusty on the bottom, and you get those nice little cheese crackers when you're finished baking these, and Ian considers those his favorite treat on bagel day. Okay, so we have enough cheese on those ones. These 2, I'm going to do everything bagel, so you just pop them upside down onto the plate of the goodies and then back onto the cookie sheet. Really easy. Okay. Clean my fingers a little bit, and now we're ready to put these into the oven. I only bake on the top level of my oven, and I have another baking sheet on the bottom. This helps to redirect the heat a little bit so the bottom of the bagels don't burn. I have found that if I try and do 2 sets at a time, one of them always gets a too dark bottom, even if I take them out halfway through and switch. So I have just gone to baking 1 sheet at a time. And as you can see, these are nice and gooey. They're all sticking together. And there's some little cheese goodness all over the place there. And there we are. There's our first 6 bagels. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay, hope you enjoyed today's video. And here's another one I thought you might like.